Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, AmusedJester. My name is Junior, and today we're gonna go ahead and review from the Black Series Star Wars Jango Fett and Boba Fett. Attack the Clones and the Book of Boba Fett. So that's gonna be an interesting review really quickly. And there's the side, there's Jango Boba, and where's the numbering series in this one? So they took away the number series? 9 and 10 maybe, I don't know. Let me go ahead and open it up and we'll take a look and see what's going on. Alright, so let's start off with the accessories because I want to talk more into detail about the characters themselves. Jango comes with his backpack over here. Got some interesting coloring, paint application. Nothing in the back. There's the front. And there's the back. So there are ports in here that you can probably use for effects. And I didn't realize that these are actually on a swivel or a ball joint. Huh. Very interesting. And he comes with his iconic blasters. Look at that. I know it's just silvery plastic, but yeah. Kind of look at that. I've never really noticed this design where it's very organic looking. Very interesting. And of course the helmet. Now, I still do prefer these are actual helmets rather than peg-ins, but and I'm looking inside. Look at that. It's actually translucent plastic. It's casted in translucent plastic. Interesting. Why did they do it like that? Huh. But good enough that you can't see my finger underneath there, but you can see. You can kind of see it. I'm curious what if the face will show through, but in these parts it's not painted, but the dome is. You can see the difference. So interesting. For Boba Fett, here's technically this is the same helmet, like lore-wise, right? That his father used. He's using the same equipment that his father used. So it's dented and everything. So now it makes me wonder what could have caused such an impact to have dented Mandalorian steel. It's supposed to be very strong. I'm just like looking and trying to see, like, so technically it's supposed to be the same helmet. If it is, the viewfinder is different. Yeah, very interesting. Now let's look at Boba's jetpack. Just change my lighting so we can see much better. I really can't see because my eyes are now need glasses. Yeah, look at that. So again, this can rotate. I'm gonna compare it with Jango's. So I guess the jetpack is different, right? Completely different from Jango's. So it's just his armor that Boba uses. Is this detachable? It is. The rocket is detachable. It's really nice. So this is actually different from the one that he wears on as Boba Fett when he was younger. And let me see. I brought out the younger Boba Fett's jetpack as comparison. It's not using the same mold. There are differences, as you can see. Like in the panels over here is different. How this is shaped is different. Also, the missile here is not detachable, unlike this one. Size-wise, it's comparable, but definitely different. This one's having some wear. This one's more newer looking without the wear and tear. And then he comes with this blaster, which I'm not familiar with. So this must be new for his Book of Boba Fett series. I seem to have lost my Boba Fett's gun. This one I'm using for my. This is the one that comes with the Boba Fett older version. This blaster. That's interesting. The usual lack of paint application. Alright, so now let's look at Jango Fett. The face. That looks good. Like really, really young in his prime. That looks really good. It's got some scars going on. Look at that burnished steel paint application on that armor. It looks really good as well too. So I didn't realize that this actually goes more displayed on the back. And this one's on the side. I'll have to remember that. Then he has this pouch over here. Really interesting. Oh, I never had Jango Fett in the Black Series. And I don't even know if I have him on my TVC. This is really hard to get on TVC. I don't, unless I want to pay a lot of money for it. Or regular money for it. I'm too cheap to buy it. If it comes in brand new, if they release it, then I'll buy it because I need to have him on my TVC. Yeah, but look at that face though. It just looks like him at that age group. Now the reason, I'm gonna say it again, that I'm really, really restricted on what I wanted to buy on my Black Series because I'm out of space. I'm just concentrating on certain stuff. But Jango Fett and Boba Fett, I paid full price for these guys, and there's a reason why. I ended up buying them both is because they're being presented both together, because I find it interesting that this is basically the same actor in different spans of his time, right? 15-20 years older, and I spent over $50 on these two figures because I'm so curious if Hasbro is able to capture the likeness of one person in an older format. And I do believe they are really successful and good in how they're able to do it. The only thing that I would criticize is there are some differences. Like the face is there. You can tell they're the same person. This one's older. Well, I mean, yeah, technically it's a clone. It's not the same person, but it's a clone, right? But you can see like something about the shape of the nose on the younger one seems different for me from the older one. But it's basically the same person, right? Different scars, so that's cool and everything. Yeah, so definitely you can see an older. What's his name? Morrison something. The actor's name, definitely older. You can see jowl cheeks over here, more prominent and everything. You can see the folds of his bald head. That's so cool. That is just amazing to me. I really appreciate the effort that they took in the portraiture. This one. Now, does it even make sense for me to pull out? Oh, Boba Fett doesn't have a head. Oh, wait. Whoa. Yeesh. I guess this is way too much of an older release, right? But look at the difference, though. Like, this is a separate piece, and this is molded in and everything. Okay, so I never bought this originally. Yes, this is a remade, right? So I never bought the original one. I wasn't interested in it. I didn't like that there were two versions. One where he still just put on the new costume coming out of the desert. He's not yet fully, what would you call it, the gangster Boba Fett and everything. So I wasn't interested in that. But like I said, I was more interested in the fact that they both got released at the same time. I like it better that way rather than it's like, should I, if it had been released separately. Um, so, let's do again, the detail on this one's what I was doing. Really nice baggy loose clothing on the wrinkles and stuff. You can, it looks really baggy and all that stuff. Of course, this is going to hamper the movement for the shoulder, but not too bad since it can still do horizontal. And look at the range on the head because of the ball joint on the bottom of the head and the neck. Really nice. Not much for the body. Oh, actually, I'm surprised that the body can go forward that much on just the waist rotation and that back. Really surprised on that. Seems, I think with the clones, with troopers, they're more restrictive. And then here's the weird thing. Look at the construction of the elbow. This is the first time I've seen something like that. I don't know why they did it. It's kind of interesting. This is the old way, see? It's just two pieces. This is three pieces that they separated like that. Even the Boba Fett here is still using the same old construction. I don't know what the purpose of this is because it's able to do the same range of rotation. Look, same angle. This can rotate. This one can also rotate. But this new construction, this one seems like it's going to hinder it. It doesn't really. So I don't know why they did that, because that's an extra piece of construction right there. An extra piece to mold and cast, an extra piece to push in. Maybe because that's where they put in the hoses, but really all that for just to put in the hose. This one I've seen where you can bend it, but it's gonna stretch this out and pull it. And I don't know how secure this is if it's just stuck in there. It doesn't seem like it seems to be glued in, so I feel like if I bend this arm, it's gonna pull it. Yeah, it's gonna pull that. Alright, so, and the legs. So I want to add that the way they constructed Boba Fett's string over here is connected to oh, I didn't even realize they did that. So it's actually a separate piece. This side doesn't have that. Isn't that interesting? But look at how it can only do that much of a bend, while this one can do more. Now, here's a trick that I learned about these strands. I basically, see how this one's already, I wonder if I can do it with this one. So I'm basically pushing it off to the side. That one's longer, so that one allowed it for me to do that. I'll push it off, these both to the side like this, so that I can kind of bend it. Yeah, I guess that's one way of doing it. See, it's still in there. But you just gotta be careful, because I do want them kind of holding. So dainty looking in these pistols. Yeah, isn't that something? So, and the legs aren't even at all, I don't think it's restricted by these. So that's pretty cool. Forward anyway. Back, again, I'm impressed. It's not that restricted. It's 45 degrees at least. You can pull of the poses that you need and everything. Let me put on the head and the backpack just to complete the look. And I'm gonna put on the hands, or the guns, the hands. Jeez. Sometimes I'm afraid. I'm 50 years old, but seems my sentence construction is not as, good as it once was. That looks really good for me. That looks really good. Like if Hasbro were to offer a stand fight pose and that plugs in there, I feel like people would buy it. That looks really, really good. And this one, let's look at the detail on this one. I don't know what that tag is supposed to be for. An emblem. It's the belt. I mean, individually, I'm not really as interested with Boba Fett's the Mandalorian series. I wasn't really that keen on the ending or the direction of the series. The Jango Fett one, I've never had it, so I'm kind of interested in that one. I'm more interested in Jango Fett and this Boba Fett than this Boba Fett. You know what I mean? I just feel like I didn't like where they took the character. Like, seemed like becoming a community leader, which I don't think Boba Fett deserves to be like that. Interesting. He's got the wiring going up in here. It's one of those things where it's kind of like the Wolverine character, where they're trying, well, not the Wolverine character, but where they're trying to make a bad character or an evil character into a good character because he became so popular. You know what I mean? And yeah, so it just Boba Fett just became so popular that they need to do a redeem story, and I don't think you need to do a redeem story with Boba Fett. I think he could have, I mean, the way they did the character, they could have made him just as become a gang boss of that city without turning him into a good guy. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. This is a rubbery overlay, so different from this. This is all hard. Oh, it's not all hard plastic, but it seems like it. Is this also rubbery? Yes, it does. Let's put in his gun over here. I like that this is more forward, like that. Maybe this one is too, but it's just... yeah. I like it. I mean, like, yeah. Put this on here. Now I have all representations of Boba and Jango, because technically he's still the same person. And that completes it. Wow. So there they are, side by side, father and son, older and younger, younger and older. These look good, great together. I think so much so that I think they kind of deserve kind of their own spot in my Black Series collection. Maybe even put them aside. Yeah, these actually pretty much fulfills it, and so much so that I would even say that if they were ever to release a new Boba Fett, meaning a new version of the middle one, that I think I might actually get it, because I like the fact that look at how much bend this guy has on an elbow. So yeah, I might actually get it, especially since if they can have a removable helmet. I really do prefer that than just this. So anyway, that's it for my review of Jango Fett and Boba Fett, the new versions. And like I said, I've upgraded the value to 11 for each one. I wish I could have been 12, but it's just that price range is just really killing it for me. And they have enough improvements on each of them to justify the increased value that probably could have been 10. But I'll push it up to 11 because I really do like how they look. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys on my next review. Bye!